Right, time's running. What can we plan for? We don't have a route to Berlin, unfortunately. Vienna. Private car. Tomorrow before 5 PM. -9 health. Playing of musical instruments is forbidden. Oh, so we get these tidbits of info. I mean, I guess we should probably get a hotel. 6:30. The Franco-Prussian War had concluded but a year previously. Thus my French accent was a disadvantage. During our short time in Munich, the concierge of our hotel was most suspicious when I approached the desk. I did not care for politics myself. What was the enmity of nations to me? Still, in order to... In order to avoid any untowardness, I... spoke as little as possible during our stay, and I tried to adopt a Germanic rather than Francophone expression to match, with perhaps mixed success, if Monsieur Fogg's faintly quizzical looks were any measure. Okay. Explore. Maybe we'll find better routes. There was little daylight in Munich. The sky was shrouded in steam and oil fumes from the tractors and hydraulic excavators in the streets. I quickly returned to the safety of a cafe, not wanting to become covered head to toe in soot. My poor jacket will not survive such an indignity. Okay, that was a bit of a waste, I guess. Arrives today in Bach. By steam carriage. Before 4 PM. Okay. So let's look at the market. Busy plaza, almost tediously wide. European train timetable. Apples? Of interest to official, earnest and soldier types. You can go around the whole world, but nothing surpasses a decent apple. Thick volume listing of the train routes for Europe. Magnifying glass, a smooth surfaced lens set into a weighty brass handle. Valuable in Dubrovnik, Venice and Budapest. How valuable though? I mean, let's go for a bit of a money route here, I guess. Don't want anything at the bank. No. Let's depart to Berlin via steam carriage, traffic. Uncomfortable conditions and the open road. This will be a bothersome route, but the Englishman's wardrobe should make my master more comfortable. -9 + 4. Alright. Alright. 68 pounds. So I feel like we're being pretty inefficient concerning time, but at least we'll make like 2,300 pounds in a second. Crossed from Munich to Berlin in a patched up steam carriage. The soot-smudged wake which trailed behind us like a flag. Our driver Christoph could not stop talking about his father, who was an engine driver and who had just been promoted. The Kaiser has merged all the state railways into the Reich Railway, he told us proudly. We have the most efficient system in all of Europe. Why are we not taking a train then? It sounds like an excellent option, I declared. Christoph grinned. It is. Only be sure to have your ticket. They have a little prison cell in the train station for those who try to jump aboard. Remember, in Berlin at least, a train guard is a direct servant of their country. Alright. So Warsaw, Vienna. Converse. Greetings, Christoph. Don't worry, you won't distract me from the road. Ask Christoph about Berlin. Beer and sausages are good. Berlin, Warsaw. Berlin, Amsterdam? Nah. Berlin, Prague. Berlin, Bucharest. What's Tsaritsyn? Is that in Russia somewhere? Here's something I do know. Oil runs through Tsaritsyn's veins instead of blood. Oh, so we only have 2 options to talk about. That's unfortunate. Okay. I knew a woman who was on holiday in Tsaritsyn long before the freight train to Moscow went missing. Oh, so we do have Moscow, Tsaritsyn. I mean, yeah, sure. Let's go through Russia and generally a bit of a more northern route. We were on the outskirts of Berlin when a shadow fell over the steam carriage. Christoph blanched and crossed himself, taking his hands from the wheel. I looked up, expecting rain. But the sight that greeted me almost defied description. An Ottoman Gehig-class airship hung directly above the steam carriage, low enough that I could see a red-jacketed woman swinging from a trailing rope ladder and pointing towards us with a wild grin on her face. She shouted something, and 2 mechanical claws were dropped off the side of the gondola. Their pincers gleamed threateningly. Drive, Christoph, I shouted urgently, and Christoph opened the steam valve as far as it would go. A lightly loaded car leapt forward, outrunning and swerving out of the reach of the clawed arm. Is it important how many bags we're carrying with us at this time? Maybe. We did not slow until reaching the cover of trees, when Christoph braked hard and exhaled deeply. What was that? Are you well, monsieur? He nodded fervently. Very well. That was a close escape. A pirate boat, if I'm not mistaken. The loss of an airship? What does that mean? Even one sailed by the worst sort of rogues, but it was gone from the skies. We steadied our nerves and then proceeded at a calmer pace into Berlin, grateful for the city once it swallowed us up. Okay, so we arrive at like what, 11 p.m? Okay. The Chateau de Kiemwine could earn us well here. Yeah. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Okay, so we have to take a hotel here pretty fast, otherwise we'll sleep on the streets. We stayed for the night in the Hotel Adlon on Unter den Linden, the main boulevard in the central middle district. From the window, the Brandenburg Gate was lit by upturned gas lamps. So the train, wait, what did it say? 11 a.m. or 10 a.m.? I think 11 a.m. So if we act very quickly, we can both sell our stuff and then explore for 4 hours, right? Also, I went for a late night stroll, I think, along the avenue, past groups of people drinking at low tables. I mean, I'm gonna do a playthrough where I'm very much of a ladies' man, but not this one, I think. I sat with a man who was demonstrating various engine noises to a rapt audience. You're an artificer, I guessed. Every man is an artificer if he has a spanner to his name, he replied, laughing heartily. But I am a driver, the best driver in Germany. Care to bet? Oh. I replied, goading him. Character's now courageous. Oh, I mean, I didn't mean to play him as courageous, but there we go. He shrugged. Certainly. I will be starting a four-day trip to Bucharest via Prague and Budapest tomorrow morning. Only, I shall do the trip in 3. I mean, that's probably a pretty good deal. New routes discovered. Yeah. I want to do Bucharest, though. Let's explore. So that's 11, like 10:35. Can I zoom out, or will that advance time? Alright, just have a look around. What are we? Saturday. Could go to Stockholm for 88, arrives Monday. What does the red mean? That it doesn't leave today, I guess, right? Arrives today. Arrives today, 97, 88. And that's probably the train. I kind of want to make use of this route. Moscow, Tsaritsyn, Astrakhan, or something. I mean, going here in 3 days, that'd be the more traditional route through Istanbul. Go here, Stockholm, and then this way. I mean, I'll try this way, I think. Warsaw, Minsk, Moscow. I mean, that means my late night stroll was a bit of a waste. Why is this red, though? Arrives Monday? I don't know. Or the yellow ones, just the ones that arrived today. Oh, wait. Oh, I can actually check the... Okay. Departs at 11 AM. Departs tomorrow. Yeah, the red ones are, I think, the ones that depart tomorrow. This one departs at 1 PM, actually. So we do have a little bit of time after this. This one arrives Wednesday. Departs tomorrow, yeah. Oh, didn't the driver say last night he would go this morning? So if I hadn't explored, I might have... Okay. I think I'll do this one at 1 PM. Berlin, they tell me, was once filled with a glorious sound of people speaking French. Not so anymore. I mean, there's always an option to, like, not do anything. I wonder what that's good for. Also, we got some health back, maybe just from the hotel. Now there is nothing but the crashing of gears. Every street corner is equipped with rotatories and wheeled systems that spin glass globes in this way and that. The purpose is quite unclear, but when I investigated one, by throwing my shoes at it, I discovered they were extremely robust. Not glass at all, I suspect, but some kind of crystal. The mystery persisted until nightfall, when these globes all lit up, and the people of Berlin clustered around the warmth of the globes to drink beer and converse. It seemed they work hard here, and they celebrate with equal vigor. I mean, it's not evening yet. We joined the merriment, learning from a man called Gustav that some buyers will pay well for evening jackets from Warsaw. Which buyers, though? The afternoon turned to evening, and we finished our explorations of Berlin. Also, no, not evening. Market? Right. Khartoum? Yeah, we're not going there, I think. Caribbean timetable? I mean, that's far away, right? Also, if you buy it and then sell it, do you keep the rolls? The railway man said. How much does this cost? Oh wait, no. I gotta go. Embark! Departing in 15 minutes. Go! Time passes quite quickly when you're on the market. The newly amalgamated German Reich Railways made a political point of their efficiency to quiet any nationalist grumblings. The departures left at the moment they claimed, not a second before and not a second after. Suspecting as much, I attempted to plan ahead, loading all the luggage a full hour early and ensuring Monsieur Fogg was installed the moment the guards lifted the gate. Remembering Christoph's advice, I had my tickets securely in my jacket pocket at all times, which was fortunate as I was somewhat sleepy and managed to leave one of Monsieur's shirts behind in the hotel. What? Relations with Fog have strengthened slightly. Why did I leave one of the shirts? What? Why does he like me for that? Fog, converse. Greetings, Madame Hammerschmidt. It's very good to meet you, monsieur. Ask Rosa Hammerschmidt about Warsaw. I need to know about Warsaw. For instance, Moscow can be reached from Warsaw aboard the Belarus Express. That's good. Tell me more about Moscow. I prefer the Kremlin to St. Basil's onion domes. Now, anyway, I will tell you a secret. I think my husband is having an affair. Impossible! Madame, how could he? Why, you are flattering me. I do not like it. Warsaw, Moscow. Let's do Moscow. Do tell me more about Moscow. You might be interested that the most efficient way to get to Moscow from here is to go via Minsk. Minsk? You might be interested to know that to get to Odessa from Minsk in the passenger carriage, but the fare is expensive. Odessa, I guess? Did you know you can obtain good false teeth in Odessa, extremely valuable in Omsk? We arrived in good time, as expected, and disembarked into the windy streets of Warsaw. So did that just take 3 hours? Or was there another day that went by? Or like maybe 4 hours, yeah. The evening jacket could earn us well here. I mean, we could sell it. I think, since we lost the other thing anyways. 4? Monkey wrench, part of the engineer set. Russian gentleman's wardrobe set. Oh, God, I don't know. We'll buy the accordion. Valuable in Minsk, since we're going there. To have a bit of time, so plan. Arrives Monday. In 2 days. Arrives Tuesday. Odessa, something Omsk. Where's Omsk? Omsk is somewhere in Russia, right? So this is quite expensive. So 2 days at 3 PM. That's kind of shitty, though. But it's the only route, right? Also that we know. I mean, as long as we don't want to explore tomorrow morning, we find the route to, like, Bucharest or whatever. Thoroughly gentlemanly behavior. Wait, what did it say? Arrives. Ticket will require a further 220. Tomorrow. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Maybe tomorrow morning, though. Nah, I'll do it, sure. But it's tomorrow. Okay, so let's get a hotel. Because we do want to sell that one thing, right? Pass the night here. Alright, that goes up. We walk the street of Warsaw, feeling the air of a different continent all around. In less than 2 generations, the Tsars had made this little outpost all their own. They've made it much nicer too. There are building works on every road, with great digging machines sitting idle during the day and coming to life in the evening as they carve out sewage and water systems that will allow the city to grow to enormous size. A touch of empire can do wonders, I remarked to Monsieur Fogg, but his eyebrows scolded me. No good will come of this, he replied. Only malignant growths, and rust expand at such a rate. He shook his head sadly. When will people realize that only the English are fit to run an empire? I agreed emphatically. What a pair of travelers we are, putting this silly world to rights. Nice. Do I want to explore? I mean, I guess. I still have the time till 3 PM anyways. New routes discovered. Yeah, I could go to Stockholm or Budapest. Going out in the day, I encountered an incredible creature, as tall as a house, with wide, swinging metal arms, like a rampaging giant. I hid, watching as the terrible machine stomped from foot to foot, slowing, rotating. And then I saw that in its chest was a man, using levers and switches to operate the colossal device. It was a gigantic, walking exoskeleton. I ran from it. Your character is now suave. What effect does that have, like on negotiating like prices or something? Like a wild and crazed thing until I was thoroughly lost. Market? Yeah, we did that. Accordion is like Minsk. Is worth a lot. Part. Minus 16? I mean, minus 5. Cold weather. This promises to be a bothersome option, but the wool trousers from your Englishman's wardrobe said should see us to rights. Okay. I clambered aboard the train. Monsieur Fogg settled in a far corner like a dusty old uncle, and I went to sit next to him, ready to attend to his wishes. He had none, of course, but to be left alone with his thoughts, whatever they were. So he rode in silence, a comfortable silence nonetheless. Verse, always. Greetings, Monsieur Krasotkin. Good evening, men of France. You mentioned trains. I've been told my uncle worked in Ekaterinburg just before the Trans-Siberian Express to Irkutsk suffered a fire. Apparently the quickest way to Irkutsk from here is to Ekaterinburg. I'm told the quickest way to Ekaterinburg here is to Moscow. Okay, so we have... Okay. We have alternatives now. Ooh. It's like the Trans-Siberian Rail, right? Belarus Express. We arrived at Minsk after nightfall and disembarked. This train looks cool. Day 6. So it's what, 10 PM? So let's plan a little bit. So we could go to Odessa, departs tomorrow. Departs tomorrow at 10 PM, okay. This one departs tomorrow 12 noon. Arrives Tuesday. Minus 16 health. But this is also like minus 16 health, right? I mean, I guess I'm either gonna do this or actually do the Trans-Siberian Railway like all the way to Vladivostok. 19 days. I mean, it's not so bad. Alright, let's book a hotel here. 6:30 AM. A very cold newspaperman offered me a sip of Turkish coffee at a tram stop in Minsk. My grandfather was French, he said blandly. Then we are compatriots. I toasted him with my ceramic tumbler. I do not think so. He spat onto the ground vehemently. I did not know him. He was one of Napoleon's soldiers. Minsk was occupied by the Grand Armée during the invasion. He did not speak in a particularly accusative tone, but any words I tried to say in reply coagulated at the back of my throat. Ah, I managed to choke out. An unfortunate business. Yes, war is an unfortunate business, and yet, he sighed, I am here, so there's that. He gestured with his cup. You are traveling? We will cross Russia to Japan. He gave me a downturned smile. Vladivostok is closed, he said. You'll have more luck going through China unless you're military. We aren't. Our tram wheezed into the stop, and the conductor opened the doors. The newspaperman boarded. Enjoy your coffee, he added, without looking in my direction. I boarded with him, and he cracked a rare smile. If I were traveling, I know where I would choose to go. And where's that? Tehran, he replied, to my surprise. An unusual choice. He laughed bitterly and tapped the newspaper under his arm. When I was younger, I knew a woman called Lena Pelkala, a Finnish girl. She became a dancer. Now she passes herself off as Slavic and has just been signed up to dance exclusively in Tehran. I'm sure I will never see her again, but if I could, I would try. There are other women, monsieur. I nodded sympathetically. The world is large, monsieur. She would be hard to find. Forget I work in the newspapers, he replied. She's traveling quietly, by airship, from Novorossiysk in a few days. And that's not all. Her name is now Marina Poltavka. Okay, new route. Yeah, I guess I want to explore, right? I do have until like 10 PM or something. Could also go to St. Petersburg now. I took a few hours to explore, investigating the various options for how we might continue our journey. Oh, nothing else in Minsk? That's disappointing. Market. What's the accordion worth? 990? That's not so great. But we need a bit of money. Railwayman set. Heavy storm set. Shaving kit? What of the valet set? Shortbread biscuit. Genuine Scottish shortbread. I mean, I have no idea. Heavy like, I have no idea. I guess at some point I gotta write down where to get the sets, right? So when do we have? 3 PM? Or 10 PM, I think, right? Buy that shortbread biscuit, part of the valeting set? Nah. Man set, maybe storm set? I don't think so. I don't think so, man. Depart. It's expensive. How much did I get for my thing here? Was that just for the accordion, like 900 or something? Was it even worth it to make a stop in Minsk? Because I think I could have just gone directly from Warsaw to Moscow, right? Cold weather. The train pulled out from Minsk station well after nightfall. Monsieur Fogg had taken to tapping his watch every time we began a new journey, as though he was recording the time of departure through some fantastical spring-operated signal. Perhaps he was sending a message to whomever it was back in London persuaded him on this curious journey of ours. Belarus Express. There was little time to do anything before total darkness enveloped the train. What happens? Oh. Okay. What happens if we wait? Oh, then we get to read. Okay. Artificers' wonders dominate World Fair Show. That's all. Okay. Morning came, and we were still crossing the Russian countryside, the train moving on its slow and steady way. Watching the scenery go by, and relaxing. Even a valet must take time off. Finally reporting to the stone edifice that was Moscow station and disembarked. 4 PM, so let's plan. 3,700. That's pretty expensive. Tomorrow at 11 AM. Okay. Can I still explore today? Yeah. New routes discovered. To St. Petersburg? Yeah. Moscow was not a comfortable city for a Frenchman. A local composer had just written a piece people were calling the 1812 Overture, commemorating the Russian victory over Napoleon's invading Grande Armée in that fateful year. Well, that's like 60 years ago or something, right? Patriotic passions were at a fever pitch. So I stayed very sensibly indoors. Alas, my friends, my solitude was quickly interrupted by an officious rap on the door of the waiting room. 2 men in clothes so plain that they were most certainly police officers invited themselves in. I had heard of the Ukraina, the newly formed secret police which investigated revolutionaries and malcontents. My luck, it seemed, had deserted me, so I resolved to escape out of the back door. Oh, there's some health lost there. I've always been quick in a pinch, and I was on the metal fire escape at the back of the building before the police had finished picking our lock. I'd rather abandoned Monsieur Fogg to the policeman's mercies. When I returned an hour later, he seemed ashen-faced and particularly still, as if he'd endured some terrible ordeal. They tormented him for information, or simply rifled messily through our belongings. Character's now well healed, and relations with Fogg have deteriorated slightly. Well now, this journey is proving more tiring than I expected. I mean, I could stop at every... Also it says Ekaterinburg is closed or something, right? So if I just book this, I might come to regret it. It's closed to non-military personnel. Well... I'll see what happens, I guess. So let's stay at the hotel. What remained of the day? I afforded my master every service, providing him with a haircut with the hopes he would have a restorative night. Good, good. I'm in roaring health, but we must make haste. What did I want to do? Oh, look at the market. Okay, opens at 7 AM. Then we have till 11 until our train leaves. Fast passport. Jack passenger. Top hat. Gentleman traveler set. Instant recuperation set. How many? Complete. Okay. I'll also take the top hat, sure. In the fast passport, maybe that can help us. I don't know. Arrive next Monday. Minus 59. I mean, we do have the health. Trans-Siberian Express. The luggage rack has space for 2 suitcases, which is ample. Siberian weather. This will be a wearisome route, but the top hat from our gentleman's traveler set should make things easier. Right. I mean, this is a large chunk of the journey. I'm interested to see how this goes. The bell in the stuccoed and whitewashed Moscow station gave its third and final clang. The platform erupted into frenzy.